Welcome back, guys. Last time we got sorted into Hufflepuff, but I chose Slytherin instead. So let's see what happens in the Slytherin common room and at school today. So we are going with Charms class first, since we're going to learn the Accio spell or the Accio charm in that class first. So that might be helpful. And then after that we're gonna go with the Defense Against the Dark Arts class afterwards. It's nice that you can just press the up button on the D-pad and the page from your field guide just flies off in the direction you need to go. That's really nice thing that you can do. So actually you can switch off your mini-map and you can just navigate the world using your field guide and the page that flies from the book. That would actually be kinda nice, just to make the game a bit more immersive and not all these HUDs and things floating about.
Professor Ronan tends to go on a bit. We sometimes have to remind him to finish.
Revelio.
Some of us don't necessarily want him to get back to the lesson.
Here, behind you. There is an open seat here.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Nettie. So you are the new student. Have you met Professor Ronan yet?
I'm about to.
Shall we begin? Welcome to year 5 of charms. Now,
This
this
guy.
will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work. But I am confident that
I
you
like
will
his
take on
charm.
the passion and rigor requisite
It is
of
charms
such
class
a
after all.
challenge. Right, now, everyone, please open your textbooks to page 517. But before we begin, can anyone here tell me the difference between the incantations of the color change and growth charms? Anyone?
If I had a teacher like this, I would never go to sleep in school. Never.
I am afraid it is too late to study now. My, the summer months must have really taken a toll on you all. By the looks of it, you all spent your holidays practicing Obliviate on one another. Do you even remember how to perform a basic summoning charm? Well, it seems that we are in dire need of review. Everyone get into pairs and take positions on opposite sides of the classroom. Now let's put those textbooks to use as the blunt objects you so believe they are, and take turns summoning them out of one another's hands. Only one book will be needed per partnership, Miss Dale. Thank you. Get into place now.
Accio.
That is not bad.
You are a swift learner. I see a lot of potential, but remember, potential is nothing without practice. Keep at it. You might just rival Miss Onai here. Very good, everyone. That's enough of that. Well, as you all seem to have the basics down, and it is an exceptionally lovely day, I was thinking that we might have ourselves a little excursion outside for a spot of fresh air. After me. I've always found that fun goes hand in hand with mastery, as I'm sure the Quidditch players amongst us would agree. So, what better than a bit of sport to put our prowess with the summoning charm to the test, right? So why don't we have our newest student start us off? Very simply, cast Accio on one of the
Accio.
spheres and relinquish your... Splendid! Now, think of this like gobstones, if you will. But instead of throwing the marbles out, you are summoning them toward you. Excellent control there.
So you have to let go like at the very last bit of yellow, so that it just makes it to blue, and then you will have the high score in class. That one went too far. Me giving advice and then not following my own advice, huh? That's bad.
Miss Onai, would you care to give our new student a bit of a challenge? Come on up. You'll be the blues, just as before, and Miss Onai, you are playing red. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Let us see this. That is how it's done.
Accio.
That's it!
Here we go. Phew. Well done. Be sharp. There we go.
Accio.
A perfect score. Remarkable. Let us make this a bit more interesting, shall we?
I think we are well past interesting at this point.
I'll say.
Enough chatter. Focus now. You will need it. This round settles it all.
Let us see this. That is how it's done.
Accio.
Don't lose your composure.
Watch this.
Splendid!
Be sharp. Phew.
Accio.
Quite impressive.
Very good, both of you. Well done. Class is dismissed. Gather your things on the way out.
Well done back there. You took the loss in stride, Shant with Accio. Took weeks for me to get anything right when I transferred here. It gets easier, I promise.
Thank you, but I've been holding my own.
I appreciate your confidence. I transferred here from Wagadu just before my 4th year. My mother received an offer to teach divination here. Before I knew it, we had left Uganda and were halfway around the world at a new school in a new country.
Is Wagadu much bigger than Hogwarts?
Wagadu School of Magic is the largest wizarding school in the world. So yes, bigger than Hogwarts. But it never seemed intimidating or overwhelming to me. It always felt like home.
Is Wagadu a castle, like Hogwarts?
Its address is Mountains of the Moon. It is not so much a castle as a beautiful edifice carved out of the mountainside. I remember the first time I saw it, the mist was so thick I could hardly make out anything at all. And then it just materialized before me, this enormous school that seemed to be floating in midair.
This may seem an odd question, but is magic the same there as it is here?
Mostly, yes. But I did have to learn how to use a wand when I arrived here. Hardly anyone at Wagadu uses one.
Spells cast without a wand must be less powerful than those cast with a wand.
No, not at all. Wizarding magic cast without a wand is just as powerful. I find wandless magic to be much more instinctive. Not to mention quite convenient if one is without their wand. I must admit, however, that I am growing quite fond of using a wand. It seems very dramatic.
It's nice to learn about another wizarding school.
Thank you for asking. I do miss Wagadu, but I am glad to be here at Hogwarts. I think Professor Ronan wants to talk to you. Better not keep him waiting. Until next time.
Of course.
Revelio!
You can use Accio on humans, if you're so inclined.
You'd be using it on clothing, to be precise, Sebastian. You know it won't work on humans.
After my brother learned the summoning charm, it was constant Accio this, Accio that. Cutlery flying everywhere. Quite unsafe, really.
Professor Ronan reminds me of my grandfather. Loads of wisdom, but a bit mad.
A word, if you would.
You wanted to speak with me, Professor?
I did. I trust your first charms lesson lived up to expectation?
Well, an outdoor competition wasn't exactly the lesson I was expecting, sir.
What charm is there in the expected? Miss Onai is a talented witch. Take it in stride. One often gains the most from the battles one has lost.
Of course, Professor. It was a challenging match.
Miss Onai is always a fierce competitor, though I sense that she is a bit distracted of late. Now, Professor Weasley has asked that your professors give you instruction outside of the ordinary curriculum. Expect to hear from me soon regarding a special assignment that I am preparing for you.
Hello there. You're the new student, aren't you?
Hello, you wanted to speak to me?
Samantha Dale. I've been eager to meet you. You're the student everyone's been whispering about. Hope your first day's going well. You certainly seem to hold your own in charms.
Thank you, but it really wasn't all that challenging.
My brother William would tell you not to be so humble and to trust your abilities. Then again, he tends to be a bit overconfident in his. Well, better see to my charms homework. I find Professor Ronan's lessons a bit more challenging than you do.
Stupefy! Is that all you've got?
Levioso!
Professor Hecat!
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces on your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the Great Poacher Raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge.
Well, she's definitely in the Ravenclaw
To the
house.
wise, age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso?
The cheek of this guy.
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity, especially in the heat of battle. Now, let's practice what we've just learned, starting with something small.
Levioso.
Levioso.
Swish and flick. I still remember that from the
Let's try
movie.
something a little larger. Let us begin with the basic cast. See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast. Remember, a surprised opponent is a weak Levioso. Good. Well done. Very good. But the best way to practice is by dueling. We'll start with you two. Duelists, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Now, I want a fair duel, using only Levioso, basic cast, and Protego. You may begin.
Levioso, this can't be your first duel.
Let's just say I'm a quick learner.
If only all of my students were this adept.
Protego.
Stupid Protego.
Levioso.
How do you enjoy a lively duel? Want your opponent for signs to attack or defend yourself?
Stupid.
Not bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
I put you on the spot, and you rose to the challenge. Points to Slytherin.
Thank you, Professor Hecat. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If what I've seen today is any indication, we can expect great things from you. I demand excellence from my students. They are capable of achieving it, and they must achieve it. A classroom duel is one thing, but battling dark wizards, or as ever more likely, goblins, is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall reach out soon with additional assignments. All right. That's enough spectacle for one day. Class is dismissed.
I'd hate to face Professor Hecat in a duel.
If you know the right spells, it's dark wizards that'll fear you, not the other way around. No, I'm not much for dueling. I prefer to keep things friendly.
You dueled Sebastian. He's strong competition. Well done. Huh. Always thought Levioso was for first years.
Thanks for joining my first day at Hogwarts, attending classes. See you next time.